Hey, welcome back. So, this is video something or other of the 1974 MGB-GT, aka Badger. Last video left off saying we need to get something to be able to turn the engine to find top dead center on cylinder number 1, so we can make sure the timing and the distributor was correct. So I went out and I got a breaker bar with a 1/2 inch to 3/4 adapter with a 3/4 socket that's a 1 5/16 socket, big mamma jamma. So now I can turn the engine with very, very little effort. It's much better than the way I was trying to do it before, and it's the correct way. So having the right tool for the job works. Alright, so inside of here, you can kind of see, that's the top of the cylinder right there. And what you're going to want to do is you want to take your breaker bar, have it on your crank bolt down there, and you're going to turn, and gosh, I hope you can see it coming up. Okay, there you go. You can see the cylinder moving. You can keep going until it stops right there. Okay, so it started to hesitate. If I keep going any further than that, it's going to start going the wrong direction. So, or it's going to start going back down. So I don't want it to go back down. I'm going to leave it right there. Okay, so I'm going to put my breaker bar over here. And now I'm going to pop off my distributor cap. And I'm going to see if my rotor is pointing where it should be pointing. It should be pointing. It's really hard to get a good shot of this, but should be pointing to about this wire here. So let's see what happens. Let's pop that off. Take the bottom off. There we go. Oh, lordy. Alright, moment of truth. Okay. That looks good. Okay, really? Caught down in there. How'd you get caught down in there? Put you on that side. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks like it's pointing right where it should be pointing, because it should be pointing directly in between here, which would be 12 o'clock, and here, which would be 3 o'clock. And my camera's up on a little bit of an angle here, but that's pretty daggone centered. Inside of the cap, so I mean, cap goes on like that, so number 1's up here. But if you reversed it, let me see if I can set this down. Okay, so if you were to reverse that, and let's just say, you know, on the inside, like this was, that's cylinder 1, so it should be pointing up there, you know, in between here and here. So, and it is. So it looks like it's pretty well timed. So why I'm not getting spark, and I know I should be getting spark, even if the timing was off. If this was advanced further, there should still be spark going to the spark plugs. It just wouldn't be timed properly with the fuel, oxygen mix, and all that. So I'm not getting spark. I tested number 1, and it didn't work. So, and the way I tested it, come on, there we go. The way I tested it, I just took it off, and I had my wife get in the car, and I found a nice spot on the block. I cleaned it up really good, and I got the spark plug right up to it, and it should be getting spark arcing to the block, and it was not. So I'm going to test my coil, which I've already taken out. Alright, so I need to switch this to my ohm setting. This is an auto model, so it's going to automatically read that for me. I've got it plugged in for my ohm right there. Now, this is going to be tricky trying to do it with just this. So what I'm going to do first is I want to see what kind of reading I'm getting from just the wires. So I'm crisscrossing that, and I should be getting something of a reading. So you can see I'm getting 0.1, and let me make sure these are nice and clean. Let's see here. Try that again. Okay, 0.1. So I could subtract about 0.1 from whatever reading I get off of this. So let's go ahead and get, even though it doesn't really matter if this goes on positive side, this goes on negative side, I'm just going to do that, and I'm kind of pressing down to put a little pressure on there. I want to see on this side it should be getting around 3. So 3.3 minus 0.1, 3.2. So that's pretty much close to spec. And then I'm going to measure the inside here. I'll put a little bit of pressure on that. That should be about 7,500. 7,220, and I'm putting down a pretty good amount of pressure on this, and let's see, make sure I'm getting a nice clean point inside of there. switch hands for a moment. Yeah, so still getting about the same reading. Alright, so it seems as though the coil might be a little low, but it's pretty good. So the next question is, am I getting voltage to the coil? And to test that, I need my meter again, but this time I'm going to test the wires that were plugged into the coil. So I'm going to test this guy, which I've already marked for this was plugged into the positive side, this was plugged into the negative side. So let's see if I can set my camera at a position where, you know what, you're just going to stay there. So I'm going to plug that in here. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'll show you in a moment. Oops. Make sure it gets into that. There we go. Okay. So I've got now my leads all hooked up. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on to DC mode. So that's going to be right there. So I'm picking up millivolts right now just because of ambient voltage and the air and things like that. I don't have my battery currently connected, so I'm going to go ahead and connect my battery, which I keep disconnected whenever I'm not working on the car. Okay, so that's pretty tight on there, but it's not as tight as it should be, but still it's enough to get me some voltage, and 9.23, so that's pretty daggone low. 9.22, 21. Okay, so the battery's pretty good. It's not really dead or anything. I'll probably hook a charger up to it tonight and just let it charge up, and I'll test it again tomorrow, but I have a feeling it's going to be about the same. So I'm getting pretty low voltage to the coil. Let me go ahead and disconnect this. I like leaving it in. Okay. I mean, part of it could be that I'm not tightening that down, so I'm not getting full voltage, but it seems odd. So yeah, you're going down, yep, as you would be. Alright, so undo that. Alright, so test the coil. Coil seems to work. Voltage is getting there. I should be getting some form of a spark, even if it is kind of a low spark. I can't remember if I already said this or not, but I mean, it's not like I'm trying to actually start the car at the exact moment. I'm just trying to see if I'm getting spark to the plug. So as I turn the engine over and the rotor turns and power is getting to the distributor, but then again, power is getting from to the coil, is power getting to the distributor? So I need to check and test that middle wire. God, this thing gets so bright. And see if I'm getting anything coming out of that bad boy going to the distributor there. Lots of stuff to test, so. Alright, but anyway, I think that's a good place for this video to stop, but I don't want to stop completely just yet. I do want to show you something else over here, because you remember this thing? It's a wind chime for the engine. So when you're driving now, okay, this is not my throttle. Remember how I was like, I don't know, my throttle cable. This is my throttle cable back here. So that's my throttle cable. This is part of the choke assembly. And this is going to go, if I'm not mistaken, goes like right back there. And you can see, lines up with that bad boy. And it's possible it could go on this. No, it's not going to go this. It's going to go over here. Yeah, it's definitely going to go over here. Yeah, definitely going to go over there. Yeah. All right. But anyway, and the reason why I found this little thing laying in there, and this is going to be the one that goes over here. And what do those do, you ask? So, wow, it's really hard to see that. They've got threads on the inside. You can't really see, but they hold the air filter canisters on. So those are down here. So I've got a couple of sets, and then some other stuff in here that, well, I've seen that on the engine, so I wonder if that's something this engine's had trouble with. So that's this bad boy right there. So, I'm not sure, but that's kind of alarming that they gave me two of those with the car. So anyway, that's that. Let me get this to brighten back up. There we go. All right. So, yeah. So there we have it. Not sure if I'm like super bright right now, so I'm just going to try to tap the center of my screen from behind and see if that works as far as the light adjustment. So that's where we are right now. So, no spark, just spark plug. Right now, I only tested spark plug number 1. Probably going to go back and test 2, 3, 4 just for good measure to make sure. It's hard to do with just me in here. I got to get my wife out here to help me out. She can turn the car over while I try to test it. But so coil seems to be okay. Top dead center is good. Timing looks pretty solid. I'm happy with the way that looked. That looked pretty good. Yeah, I'm just going to start testing wires and leads and see what happens. I want to see if I'm probably going to just go ahead and replace the wires coming off the from the coil to distributor to the plugs. I guess I'm just going to clean the rotor. Might replace it. I don't know. Any suggestions? I'll be happy to listen to them and see if you have any ideas to try to get this thing going. But anyway, so if you like what you're seeing, hit that thumbs up for me. If you want to see more, click the little bell for notifications or subscribe. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. All right. Bye, guys.